Welcome to our podcast, Night Shift. This is Courtney Sage, joined with
Frank Hues.
All right. So we are starting this podcast because Frank and I both work at a 24-hour television station, and late at night we get into long, deep conversations of things. So our purpose is to record these conversations and share them on the internet. Is that about it? You have anything to add?
I think that about sums it up,
So our intention today was to do a taste test of Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A, since that's all the rage on the internet. Which now that I'm saying that, I realize that we're going to have to post this pretty soon for it to still be a relevant topic.
I don't know about that. I think this is going to have some relevancy for a while, as a matter of fact.
So this is what happened. I went to go get this Popeyes. I was so excited. I knew exactly what I was going to order. And then I realized that they had a sign outside that said, coming soon. What did it say? Be right back.
Oh, wow.
And so I downloaded the app, and it's first thing on there too. Chicken sandwich. Be right back. So Popeyes takes away their chicken sandwich. Well, this is my thought. Okay. So I went and I had the sandwich a few weeks ago when it was really popular. I waited 45 minutes in line for it.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was reading what everyone was saying on the internet, and people were talking about their inability to keep up with the new volume of people and the fact that they aren't going to be as polite as Chick-fil-A people. And I said, well, they probably are going to train them, and I'm sure they'll pick up to speed in no time. What do you think?
I think they flooded the streets with crack. They knew what they was doing. They caused a shortage on purpose. Yeah, I mean, I think they got y'all hook, line, and sinker. I heard a little bit about the sandwich itself, and I just haven't been sold. No one has took off and gone to heaven off eating this chicken sandwich. To piggyback off of what you're saying, be right back. So today, when I was just doing a little bit of research, what's today, the 2nd or the 3rd?
This is September 2nd.
Okay, it's the 2nd. So some of you all might be familiar with the story, but apparently in Texas today, a small group went to a Popeyes chicken, armed and dangerous, demanding that they get a chicken sandwich.
No way. What? Okay, I did not hear the story. Where in Texas, do you know?
I believe it was Houston.
All right, I'm Googling this. I should have brought my laptop. Hold on.
That is hilarious. I was like, now what type of chicken sandwich? I was like, oh, they done put some cocaine or crack in this, some heroin, something in this breading to got somebody this turnt to come up.
I did hear a story once of a restaurant that put cocaine in their chicken. I don't know where it was, but they obviously were shut down. But that just sounds really expensive just to get people to come by.
Hey, you never know. They might be sourcing it direct. They might grow it in the factory for all we know. They got cocaine on the line. They chicken, bag it up.
Oh my gosh.
You never know.
Well, this was what I said. So we're in Atlanta, and I went to the location in Midtown, and that's why I was so full. I was like, people underestimate how much people in Atlanta hate homophobia and love motherfucking fried chicken, okay? Because these lines were inside. I drove there one day, and I think the cars were just wrapped around the building.
That's insane. I don't fully understand that. But I mean, people love their chicken. I mean, this is definitely a staple of my diet. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely go through a chicken or half chicken a week. So yeah, I mean, I get it. I just don't know if it's that serious to have.
I think people were just really excited about it. But I found this article on this mob attack, and it says, police were called to a Popeyes in Houston, Texas after a violent confrontation over chicken sandwiches. Quote, an armed group of people rushed the door of Popeye's chicken restaurant in southeast Houston Monday night demanding chicken sandwiches, KTRK TV reported Monday evening.
Y'all got to be kidding me.
Oh my gosh. That is insane.
So, do I need to watch out? Are you going to be armed and dangerous soon?
Hell no. Yeah, no. I do not frequent that fried chicken that often. That might be like a cheat meal once a week, and that's okay. I can go somewhere else if I really have to.
Oh, my gosh.
But I will say the sandwich was amazing. I bought one of each because I wanted to try them both. Mm-hmm. And I was impressed first off by the size. They were
steroids.
The fillets on this sandwich were 2 to 3 times the size of anything I've ever gotten at Chick-fil-A. Excuse me, I'm a little bit sick, so my voice is all over the place.
You're fine.
So then their pickles are fresher, and the chicken just tastes better. Plus, my biggest thing is I've already been boycotting Chick-fil-A. I already boycott it because I have a ton of gay friends. Consider myself a part of the LGBTQ community. Oh, wow. And I just don't agree with companies spending their money on actively trying to take rights away from those people. I mean, they are like literally trying to pull these people's families apart by saying that you can't adopt people, you can't get married, whatever. So yeah, if your beliefs align with that, sure, go eat there. But mine don't, and I feel that giving money to a company that does that is almost as if I were giving money to the cause myself. So
subject for a later podcast, but yeah. I can say that I've not heard that Chick-fil-A is actively trying to prevent people from.
No, it's that they're giving money to organizations that are.
Oh, okay. Well,
And the CEO of Chick-fil-A has reportedly admitted to being a Trump supporter and follower, and that is just not something that flies in my world.
Yeah, well, just a segue, now that we have discussed how people in Texas are showing up with guns blazing. I mean, I know they say things are bigger in Texas, but I'm like, geesh. I mean, I didn't know we were at this point in life where the main concern of the day is I'm going to grab my gat, roll up on Popeyes, and be like, I'm going to pop you if you don't have my chicken, man. I mean, what's the world coming to? I think we should be
careful of generalizing because that was one incident, and I don't see multiple incidents of people texting. But I do understand.
Popeye started the zombie apocalypse.
From what I understand, people in Texas don't leave their house without a gun on them anyway. So you let us know if that's true or not about you or your friends.
You're right. But we don't want to, because Texas has been wild recently. So y'all need to come down out there. Let's have peace.
I heard Austin is cool. Have you ever been to Austin?
I've actually never been further than the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Far west yet, but I plan on making some rounds.
We should go to Austin one day.
Yeah? I think
maybe
so.
We'll make a traveling podcast.
Hey.
That could be cool. But Austin's really big for film, and we both are in the film industry. Did we talk about that? We work in TV, but
we didn't say that. We could have.
Oh, well.
Who knows what we do there at that place that shall not be named. People in Texas, I'm not necessarily worried about people in Texas per se. I'm curious if it's going to become a national epidemic where all around the USA you see people outside with picket fences. Give us chicken! Give us chicken! Give us chicken! We want it now!
Chicken protest! I don't think that there's any lack of supply of chicken in this country. I think people were just super excited about this one specific sandwich. You could still go to Popeyes and get anything else.
Yeah, we don't want that though. Apparently, we want the sandwich. We want that chicken, 2 pieces of bread, and these pickles you keep telling me about.
They're so good.
Why?
They're larger and fresher. I don't know how to explain it.
Larger and fresher.
Okay. Have you ever had like half pickled pickles? They have them at Ted's Montana Grill. It's like they give it to you when you start your meal. Anyway, it's like not fully pickled, so it's crunchier and still has a little bit of cucumbery.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that that's exactly how Popeyes were, but they tasted fresher, like they had just been pickled, not like. To me, no offense, Chick-fil-A. Actually, full offense, Chick-fil-A. Your pickles taste like they just been sitting in vinegar for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Some people like that dill flavor, though.
I love dill pickles, but I'm just saying.
You like Texas Montana?
I like them to be fresh.
Oh, okay. So you want that snap, crackle, and pop.
I like a little crunch. I like a little crunch.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
In my pickles.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, Chick-fil-A. So the message has been put out. You need to step your game up with your pickles. Maybe work on your presentation a little bit, because I did see somewhere they say your sandwiches come out flat. Now, me personally, I still go for the tenders.
Okay, also work on the size of your breast.
Look.
These chicken breasts are like,
we don't need no
not
injections. It's all
like
natural.
They take a chicken breast and they cut it into thirds or something, and they mash them down and make like miniature chicken. I don't know. Chick-fil-A's got to work on their size.
Popeyes using steroids. Chick-fil-A using natural.
Are we sure about that? Is that like published somewhere?
Hey, now I will say this. Being a longtime patron of Chick-fil-A, back in the day, they used to have larger tenders. Now they give you like these chicken slivers, I'm gonna call them, in the 4 count. And then I remember distinctly them telling me, because I was there for the transition, but they were like, oh, this equals the 4 equals the same as the 3, or whatever the old count was that they used to give you. And I definitely feel like that is not true. I feel like 4 is actually just 2 cut in half. So you actually only getting like 2 full tenders of the old one. So, you know, but they give you 4 now. So
I do appreciate the peanut oil thing. That's like supposed to be healthy.
Finally, we get 1 plus. We get 1 positive. I don't know too much about what Popeyes is using besides Louisiana Fast and the seasoning and whatnot, but I guess we should look more into that. So you don't worry that people around America or the world, because I was actually reading a little more, Popeyes using this as a way to get Popeyes out into the world, like they may even be opening up some places in China, actually.
Fuck yeah, I hope they do.
Are you like, I mean...
Okay, I never was a big fan of Popeyes before. I will tell you that. Like, I know this seems like I have been super good for them, but that's because I don't really eat that much fried chicken, okay? But they do have very unique sides. Mm-hmm. I like the Louisiana flair. I have not been to Louisiana, but I like what they are doing with it. And I think that it is a company that deserves to go to other countries and deserves to expand upon what they have already. And I think that what they're doing now with this chicken sandwich is just simply a form of rebranding. I think it's like, hey, we have something cool that you guys want. We're trying to show you that, you know, we can provide what we know that consumers want. And I think that the reason that they took it off for temporarily is so that they can regroup and regather and probably train their employees to handle that much of a volume. That is a huge change.
So here's a bit of conspiracy theory. I don't know if you heard this or if it's true, but apparently, speaking of handling, some of the chickens that were dispersed on this wonderful chicken sandwich got salmonella.
Okay, I did see something where someone shared a photo of a sandwich that was not cooked all the way. And that is terrifying. That ain't never happened at Chick-fil-A, y'all. Okay, this is the thing, though. In the food industry, you run into these issues. And that ain't never happened at Chick-fil-A, y'all. You're not supposed to run it. I mean, let's say, okay, it is not normal for these things to happen and should never be expected or anything like that. But I think that they had no idea how popular this was going to blow up. It's just like if something on the internet goes viral and you didn't expect for it to go viral, all of a sudden it's blown up. Expectations have risen. Now you have to rise to the occasion. And I think that they did the best that they could to rise. And I think that's why they took it off the market temporarily, because they realized...
Because they were poisoning people?
No, because they realized they were not prepared to handle what had come to them.
See, I tell you, I'm still waiting for one or two things. One, like the initial buzz, because every time a company puts out a new product, it's always the best pickles, the fattest chicken, the toastiest of toasted buns. So I'm waiting for the day when people be like, oh, man, that chicken sandwich came out flat. Think that's gonna happen?
I think they are going to at some point, because every company does this, try to cut costs wherever they can. And so they may end up going to a smaller chicken breast size, going to
Chick-fil-A, take notes.
Something else. That's what companies do. I mean, I've worked in restaurants and it's been awesome. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, make sure you don't give out more than one wedge of lemon. You know, that's just what happens when companies start to cut costs so that they can maximize profits. That's business. But hopefully they will decide to hold themselves to a specific standard and continue to release that product. And hopefully that with the time that they're spending with not offering the sandwich, they are using that time wisely to either figure out what's messed up. You know, to either come up with a better workflow, come up with some better system of how they're going to provide a consistent product. Because that's the whole thing that fast food is about, is providing a consistent product. Yeah. And that is the hard part of it, too.
Get us in the drive-thru.
Right, because we all know you can't really cook chicken in 5 minutes. It takes like half an hour. You know, whatever. I don't know how Chick-fil-A has been so good at what they're doing with keeping the drive-through lines down, and I mean they have systems in place for this, so it's very likely that Popeyes has reached out to Chick-fil-A for advice on these things, and I honestly hope that they have. I don't like in that aspect, just because businesses deserve to do well and they deserve to be able to reach out and get help and advice from other consulting from other businesses. Of course, it's like a paid thing, but
oh no, I consider this ethical stance that they've taken a direct attack and assault on the Chick-fil-A brand. So I don't know how much help Chick-fil-A is going to be.
Maybe they have an employee that used to work there that would be willing to help. They're gonna start having iPads and standing outside, hopefully saying my pleasure also.
Oh wow! Because
that was one thing that people complained about too. They were saying that the employees at Popeyes are not nearly as courteous. Yeah. But this is my thing. I live in Atlanta, and downtown Atlanta Chick-fil-A is not as sweet as every other Chick-fil-A I've ever been to. Oh. Yeah, I have seen my share of less pleasant Chick-fil-A employees. Not completely unpleasant, but you know, more so like
just not like
not as over the top.
How are you?
Right, I think it's different in the suburbs because I grew up in the suburbs and people at Chick-fil-A were the kindest, just most, it's like you could tell them your dog died and they'd probably hug you and give you a free cookie and milkshake.
Probably.
You know, like they are so kind, and in Atlanta, I feel like maybe it's just this way in a lot of places, or from my experience, it's more like people seem annoyed to be at their job.
Could be, yeah. I mean, we're annoyed at our job.
I'm always annoyed at my job, and I hate it. But no, it's like they're just like, oh, fine, here's your thing, whatever. Like, not that that's verbatim whatever has happened to me, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Well, you haven't gone to get a sandwich, but I'm sure you've been to Popeyes other times.
I've been to Popeyes. Last time I went, they were suffering from the crusty chicken syndrome, where it's been sitting out for like, you know, at least an hour or so, and then it gets all brittle, and you gotta like gnaw at it to actually get some actual chicken. So, I mean, the biscuits go in though. Like I think I'd rather have Popeyes than KFC. But you know, that's a subjective thing. I don't know. My experience at the Popeyes I went to the most recent time wasn't too bad as far as like customer service, because no one was really in there. I just had an issue with the food prep.
Yeah. Is that any more so than any other fast food restaurant you've been to?
No, I mean, Chick-fil-A, for the most part, since we're making that comparison, I would say the Chick-fil-A's I go to, the chickens are always tender. The batter, like, now I will say this, like, you know, going through the drive-thru, if if whoever's feeling nice that day, sometimes they slip a fifth one in there. Sometimes, very rarely.
That's nice. One time a lady gave me free French fries. I don't know why. Maybe she liked the music I was playing in my car. I don't know. She just gave me some free French fries. I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, that's it. I wanted to say something about the cut in half. I used to work in a restaurant that we had shrimp tacos, and the price of shrimp went up. Oh, and our managers had the chefs cut the shrimp in half, like slivered down the middle. And I'm just like, what? Who wants a sliver of meat? Okay? If the pricing
so how
has
did you
gone
present
up,
it to the customer?
They just made it that way and no one said anything.
Oh, wow. So
yeah.
They cut the shrimp. So
it was also because we had $2 tacos every Tuesday. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just thought that was the funniest thing. If the price of shrimp... Also, this is the thing. Our taco menu changed every week, so they could have just not included shrimp tacos that week if the price went up and they didn't want to have to pay for it. But, I don't know, with the whole cutting chicken in half and trying to make... It just goes back to the bottom line. It goes back to trying to cut costs where they can and make more profits when they can. And that's just what businesses are always about.
And I will say, like, this is a tip, or maybe people know this, but I realized it. So when I go to Chick-fil-A, I didn't know that the meals cost the same, whether you upsize it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's because, like, I've gone through there, and then I'll be like they'll hand me a medium, or I like try to get a water instead of a tea or something. Yeah. And it's still like $8.45 regardless.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
So I just, now that I know that, it's like, might as well just get what you're going to get.
Isn't it always a medium? Or are you saying if you upgrade to a large?
Yeah, if you upgrade to a large, it's still the same price.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, we got to test that when we go to Chick-fil-A.
For sure. Oh, so, man. Yeah, no, I'm telling you. Unless I'm missing something, but I know I've gone through drive-thru very recently and then been like, oh, I actually wanted a large fry, and then they go ahead and give me the large
now,
fry.
this is the thing. I think if you change something at the window, there are times where in order to just get you out of the window, they'll just give you whatever you asked for without stressing it. Not anything. I mean, just like certain things that aren't gonna cost them that much extra. But
I'm saying also, like, with the situation, like, I got a water instead of a drink, and it still costs $8.45 or whatever, $8.
Well, that sounds messed up because that sounds like they overcharged you to get water.
Yeah, they charged.
Did they give you a bottle of water or?
No, it was in the cup, the large cup.
Oh, I would have been pissed.
I kind of was. At that point, I realized, like, okay, well, I might as well just get a drink.
Right.
You know.
See, I'm the person. I'm like, I just want the sandwich. Cool.
No, I always get chicken and fries.
Yeah.
It's always kind of like my thing.
I'm not a big fan of the fries. I have to have the sauce. Like, I have to have the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Chick-fil-A sauce? Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of Polynesian. Everyone loves Polynesian. It's too sweet to me.
Oh, wow.
And I love honey mustard, but I don't like Chick-fil-A's honey mustard. I like McDonald's honey mustard.
Haven't had theirs. I like I kind of thought that the Chick-fil-A sauce was their honey mustard.
No, it's like more of, it's almost like a honey with like a barbecue aspect to it.
Yeah. When I looked at the copycat thing, that's what they said, because I wanted to make my own at one point. We
should do copycat Chick-fil-A recipes.
Chick-fil-A, watch out. You know, you say you're good at it, right?
Yeah, I've made it before.
I
only made it one time though. It's not like
now she backs out.
Okay, it's not like I haven't fried chicken before.
Oh.
I don't have a deep fryer though. Speaking of fryers, my roommate bought this air fryer. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it's really cool. I haven't used it myself. I'm like scared to use it. I don't know how it works. Do you know anything about it?
Except for the infomercial, no.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen the infomercials for that.
Yeah, they still make infomercials.
Heck yeah.
We should make infomercials.
Yeah.
Like as a comedy skit.
Oh.
Of like fake products.
For sure.
Dude.
I'm totally with it.
Okay.
Like, for real.
Another idea added to the list.
We racking them up for sure. So, do you think there could be a copycat for the Popeyes chicken sandwich?
Surely. There's copycat recipes for everything. For me, when I make a copycat recipe, it's always harder. I've always had a hard time with the sauces. Speaking of which, the spicy sauce on the Popeyes chicken sandwich, you haven't tried it yet because you haven't had them. But that's something I want to know your opinion on, if you like it or not. Because I'm not completely settled on whether or not I like the sauce.
We'll see. I am particular about my sauces. For sure. I'm definitely particular about my sauces.
Okay, so I think on our next episode, hopefully Popeyes will have their shit together and we will have gotten some sandwiches. Oh, wait. Before we go, also, we're going to try the mac and cheeses. Chick-fil-A released a mac and cheese. Have you tried it yet?
I have not tried it.
All right, so it'll be the first time that we try Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese and compare the sandwiches, and that'll be on our next podcast. And I hope that you enjoyed this one. I don't know. Do you want to see us make a copycat recipe of something?
Yeah.
Because we are down to do it if you guys want to hear about it.
Hear about it, yeah. I'm curious how that would go. I mean, will we, like, give them the recipe?
Yes, we will share the recipe. We will take photos of the food.
Okay. I can check it out on, like, a blog or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. We can rock with that. That sounds really good.
And for now, we don't have any social media stuff, but as soon as we do, we will definitely flood you with that information.
This is some of the things we're going to be getting into in future podcasts. So, check the playlist. Make sure you guys check it out because we're going to be talking about some pretty dicey topics.
And we love for you to let us know what you think, too. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. Let us know what your feedback is on whatever we're talking about.
Indeed. So.
All right, so thanks for listening. This has been Night Shift with Courtney Sage.
And Frank Hues.
All right, we'll see y'all later.